Hello, ho, ho, you festive little flippers. Coming up for you on the news today, we've got a backstage update on Mustafa Ali. WWE's recruitment policy is going to make you wish you were dead. Bray Wyatt really scared people more than the Fiend character did. And we have some news about Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch beating each other up. Hello! My name is Adam Cleary, and this is it now. Everybody else at WhatCulture, they've got friends, they've got family, they've got loved ones, they've got sons, they've got daughters, they've got husbands, they've got wives, they've got places to be and things to do, and what have I got? I've got the news. Yes, it is me. It's me, Adam C-L-E-R-Y, with you all the way up until Christmas, because everyone's finished now. It's just me and you for the next 5 days, and then I'm off for a bit, then some more days, and then I'm off for a bit again. So we're gonna have a lovely little festive time, and look, I'm feeling Christmassy. Anyway, this is the news. We start with Mustafa Ali. Yes, you remember him, even though you've not seen him since the 29th of October, when he changed brands, didn't he? He had 2 little quick squash matches, and then he vanished forever. Where's he gone? Nobody knows. WWE have not told us, but I can tell you right now, as per Fightful Select, he's on paternity leave. He had a child, so WWE gave him a nice little break. Isn't that really, really lovely of them? Now, his paternity leave was up for Survivor Series, so there's a lot of talk that they were going to bring him back for Survivor Series, but then they decided, didn't they, that they had enough warm bodies in their Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson memorial tribute to the Battle Royal thing they had for The Rock on the show, which was all about The Rock, even though The Rock wasn't there. You remember that. He was supposed to be back for that, but they decided not to use him because they had enough people. And then SmackDown was in Chicago, so they thought, oh, why don't we bring him back for his hometown crowd? Wouldn't that be a lovely pop? And then they thought, no, actually, we'll not do that at all, because why would you bring somebody back in their hometown? They decided they had nothing for him to do, so they didn't use him, but he should be back either this coming show or the show after that or the show after that in the very near future, because his paternity leave is up. They're just trying to work out what to do with him. Now, normally quite tricky this, isn't it? One of us sits like here and goes, news, and the other one, they sit like here and go, here's what I think about the news. So I've got nobody to bounce off with this, so I'm going to have to give you the news and then editorialize it myself, my feet up like I own the goddamn place. They don't use this guy well, do they? Mustafa Ali, historically one of the most talented in-ring performers they've got, but because he's a small little man, Vince McMahon looks at him and just thinks, I know what you are. You can lead a group of hackers, a group of nonsensical anarchist hackers for no reason whatsoever. That can be you. And then they did that, and then, well, we all remember how Retribution went. So, I don't think they use him particularly well. So if they do bring him back, which would have been nice if they'd done it in his hometown, I would like to think we could just share my Christmas wish with me, won't you? That Mustafa Ali can have a nice little babyface run. And I don't just mean the way they've kind of let him do babyface stuff in the past. I mean an actual run with momentum, with motivation, with storylines, with championship opportunities. Lovely things for him to do, nice matches for him to have. I think it would be very easy for them to do that because he's a good wrestler. And it's really easy to book good wrestlers well if you're not deranged. Yes, that's my opinion. Okay, alright, your next story. This one makes me wish that I was dead. So, WWE have a recruitment policy. Allegedly, it seems to change every 3 or 4 months. Sometimes they just hoover up every single indie wrestler. Sometimes Triple H goes to the Battle of Los Angeles and gets an erection so big he starts his own developmental brand. And sometimes they just do whatever the hell they feel like. Well, according to Big Bando Uncle Dave Meltzer and all the happy little elves at the Wrestling Observer newsletter, they have a new recruitment policy. You may have seen all this NIL nil stuff where they just have this tryouts and this new crop of talent, and so not very many of them had a lot of wrestling experience. They were stars they were going to build in the WWE mold, like The Rock, who's the one example they always go back to on this, or Roman Reigns. They were gonna, you know what it's like. Instead of getting indie wrestlers, instead of getting all these people who are already famous who then get creatively frustrated and then leave, they were just gonna get people who were delighted to be in the company and don't know any different. That was their whole NIL plan. So, here is a quote from Dave Meltzer, and I just want to say, if you're part of the 15% of our audience who are women, well, just see how this goes. The idea, should do my Meltzer voice. So the idea for women and guys, no, look at that's terrible. I'm not doing my Meltzer voice. The idea for women and guys is different. For guys, they're wanting bigger athletes, hooray, etc. For women, it's looks, or if you have something unique to offer, even on the indie thing, if someone's really super on the indies, it's not like WWE won't hire them, but they're not looking at the 5'9" guys, and they're not looking at the 5'7" guys anymore. Now, as someone who's 5'8", I am 5'8", as someone who's 5'8", I find that incredibly disrespectful. But if you come from the indies and you're 6'3", yeah, they'll look at you. And if you're a woman and you're good looking, you know, whatever. Now look, I understand that there was a heyday of professional wrestling. I understand that a lot of you will think that there was an era of pro wrestling that was a lot better than it is today. Now that might be the Attitude Era, that might be before that, that might be after that. I bet you have nostalgia for an era of pro wrestling, right? But I think we can all agree that if one thing about WWE specifically has been very good the last few years, it's actually having talented women putting on incredibly impressive pro wrestling matches. Not the whole athletic tens that you remember John Laurinaitis' entire recruitment policy was he would go to a nightclub in like Miami and whoever rubbed their buttocks up against his penis for long enough would get a 5-year contract in a WrestleMania match. I think, join me now, I think that maybe we can do slightly better, WWE, than hiring women who are just good looking and hoping that they will be pro wrestlers. Now look, I hope these two twins they've hired, I hope they do really well. However, when I saw that WWE had hired just two twins, I spat there, with no wrestling experience whatsoever pretty much, I thought, yes, here they go again, WWEing all over the place. Now, of course, there is also this part of the stuff. Roxy was the Ring of Honor World Champion. She was doing tryouts as well. There's a few people who are at AEW Dark. They're doing tryouts as well. But just this, we only want big dudes and attractive women. I really hope we were past that. Oh well. Anyway, speaking of WWE, WWEing all over the nice rug. You remember when you woke up in the summer and life seemed nice and everything seemed rosy and you just thought, oh, I bet nothing awful happens today. And then there was another round of WWE releases, amongst them Bray Wyatt, a man who not until very recently was like main eventing their pay-per-views and was their only marketable asset when they got their big new television deal. The one person who was penetrating the zeitgeist, who was actually getting noticed outside of the pro wrestling sphere. Remember him? And then they just let him go. They just cut him. They just got rid of him. Apparently, this is also according to Big Banter Uncle Dave, every single person backstage at WWE when they got rid of Bray Wyatt went, I'm sorry, what? And this apparently has led to this feeling in the locker room that everybody is cuttable. Nobody is safe except for this incredibly long list of wrestlers. This is the news story, I will now read to you a list of pro wrestlers employed by WWE who are apparently safe from ever getting released randomly, okay? Have you got 20 minutes while I go through this nice long list? Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Finn, that's it. No, not Balor, just Finn, as in end, right? That's it. Those are the only three that apparently cannot be released. Everybody else might one day wake up and discover that Nick Khan's booted up his big spreadsheet of wages, gone down the list and gone, nah, never heard of that one. Braun Strowman. How much no, he could go, get rid of that. Vince, yeah, I've cut some Braun guy. Yeah, just tell him he's gone. Yeah, I'll save you $5 million a year, buddy. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, bye. Everybody's now at risk of that, apparently, or it certainly feels like they are at risk of that, which is, and it's not a word I like to throw around, but that is mental, isn't it? And our final news story of the day, and I'm just going to come clean, the word news is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence, is that Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch have had a fight. They've had a fight at the training centre. You see, Liv Morgan goes to Seth Rollins. You've heard of Seth Rollins. He's that guy who's married to Becky. He does, I think he wrestles as well, but he's married to Becky Lynch. Anyway, the Black and the Brave, or whatever his training centre's called, Liv Morgan goes down there and she sees a woman in the ring running drills, right? And this woman has red hair, and it's Seth Rollins' training academy, and she does what any normal person would do. She does what you or I would do. She just starts wailing on her. She starts beating the crap out of her. She starts absolutely pulverizing this poor woman, and turns her over, And it's not Becky Lynch, she's just assaulted some random woman. But anyway, Becky Lynch is like, haha, surprise, it wasn't me, I'm gonna dust you up now. And she fights, and they fight each other, and they're scrabbling around the ring. There's a kendo stick involved. Liv Morgan's got a hurty arm from where Becky Lynch kayfabe injured her, and then brawl out the ring. And then Becky Lynch, once she's safe behind the cordon of trainees, is like, hold me back, I'm gonna tear her apart, etc. I can't really do it. Is that Irish voice? It's close enough. Anyway, so this, if you're getting carried away here and thinking this really happened, this is a kayfabe thing. So it's not strictly speaking big news, you know, but it is. I did watch it. It was quite entertaining, I thought. So maybe you, after you've watched this video and you've checked out several other incredible pieces of WhatCulture, maybe you could go watch that yourself. Maybe you'll see it on social media today and you'll understand because you heard me talking about it. I think they're going to put the belt on Liv Morgan. It's difficult just talking to yourself in a room on your own for like 10 or 15 minutes, but I actually think they'll put a belt on Liv Morgan. I think all Becky's challengers have felt like that might be the change. And now, this is the first time where it feels like it probably won't be, because it's only Liv Morgan. So I think, yeah, giving her the first match with a screwy finish, then giving her the rematch at day one, which, in case you missed it, is happening on New Year's Day. Very good marketing, that in my opinion. I just think she'll do it. I like the Liv Morgan story. I think that what she's done with what they've given her to work with is above and beyond. And I just think it's got to lose it sometime. But I don't know why I'm doing that. I should got to lose it sometimes. Yeah, Becky Lynch. So why not Liv Morgan? Why not Liv Morgan? I like Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan. Was it Kids Day? I stan Liv Morgan, me. Stan her all over. Right, so normally in the news video, that's the point where we're like, now it's time to move on to all your Twitter questions. But I am not trying to brag here because it's hell on earth. But I'm doing Wilborn's job today, and I'm doing some of Andy's job, and Hamflet isn't here, and Sidgwick isn't here, and Phil isn't. I'm doing a lot of stuff, so I didn't ask for any Twitter questions. But you've got me for the whole week. Right, so if you do have any Twitter questions for the rest of the week, for tomorrow, for Wednesday, for Thursday, you know how weeks work, send them to me on Twitter at AdamCleary, and I'm begging you, because we normally do a nice, fun, and finally thing, don't we? If you could send me some of that as well, I'll share all the best stuff, and then it won't feel like I'm just on my own, in a studio, completely. Look, watch. Fire! Help! There's a man! Ah! See? Nobody. Just me. Anything could happen. A bear could come in and maul me, and my body would sit here until like half an hour's time where, you know, my bosses are like, where is this? Why isn't this happening as well? So, you know, I wouldn't be dead long, but I would be dead. That's the important thing. Anyway, that's got quite weird at the end. Anyway, let me know what you made of all these news stories in the comments below. Of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I beg of you now, please send me some fun stuff, some nice fun questions, some nice fun things that I can share at the end of the videos for the rest of the week at Adam Cleary, Clery on Twitter. It'd be hopefully on screen, or maybe you just follow me anyway, right? Because you're sensible like that. But this has been the manic wrestling news. I'm not gonna lie, it might get really weird this week as I slowly start to lose my mind from this prolonged period of isolation. Anyway, that was the news. All the stories available on the WhatCulture website if you want to go read about them yourself, but I've told you about them now, so not really much point in that, in my opinion. Anyway, happy Christmas! Bye!